To all of our dear fans, thank you for clicking on this video. 2019 has been the 3rd-year anniversary of YChina and the 4th year of me making videos. But we've never done a year in review. This year, many things have happened that have changed the way we see the world, so we decided to do one. Particularly in the second half of 2019, many people sent me messages saying, "Hey, Gao Huizhang, I'm a big fan of you, but where is Xingyue Xiaojie? Why is it always you?" Well, Xingyue has been very busy taking part in many auditions for the big show Chipa Shuo. She finally made it, and we're all very proud of her. Now she's back in making videos. And if I am a big fan of YChina, I would try Danmu. Xingyue Niubi, we're all very proud of her hard work and her success. It's been a really great year for her. There are also so many private messages and comments from fans that love us, that think that our perspective is very unique and interesting. And they really like our videos. But in fact, when I see these comments, I feel a little bit ashamed in my heart. Because before starting this, I was relying on my intuition to make videos, without figuring out what is the perspective of foreigners in China. If it is only a simple international comparison, it seems to be just a manifestation of cultural appearances. Behind fragmented cross-cultural comparisons, there are too many generalizations about what a country is like. This only solidifies the stereotypes and does not really change anything. If it is simply, what is surprising to foreigners in China, they're just working within preconceived notion, and so it lacks emotional depth, which only hinders us in our search to better understand the cultural value of China. So what exactly is it? This is actually a question we've been thinking about for a long time. So I started to trace the cause of each of our instincts, and I began to recall all of my experiences when I came to Beijing at first. Unfortunately, I didn't have a QQ Kongjian like He Tongshui, so I could only rely on my own memories. At that time, I did not really understand Chinese. The Chinese people around me were very curious, but the language barrier and the cultural differences always made me feel lonely. I believe that many of my friends studying abroad would have such an experience. When you first arrive, you have no friends and feel like you're living in the edge of society. It feels like no one is interested in your life. From this experience, I gradually started to think about what the perspective of foreigners is about China. I think that it is the concern about the edge in all Chinese contexts. You can clearly see from the videos we produced in 2019. Our street interviews are focused on foreigners living on the edge of Chinese culture and their understanding of China. It is this process of marginalization and integration that allows us to understand where the original misunderstanding came from, and also allows us to gradually eliminate these misunderstandings and firmly believe that through communication with people, certain stereotypes have the potential to truly dissolve. Similarly, our BHNY series always focused on those Chinese lives that exist on the edge of our societies. We went to Wenchuan 11 years after the earthquake, because when this place became a symbol of the destruction of natural disasters, fewer people cared about the individual lives of the people there 10 years later. We saw the children who were born after 2008 with the words beautiful, future, and hope written on their hats. To this day, I'm still so moved by this image. In this day and age, they are the outermost layer of discourse on the internet. Due to their ignorance about the internet, young people see the experiences and values of the older generation as traditional and outdated. So we went to invite a 19-year-old veteran, and we saw an old man's love for his country, very different from a young person's enthusiasm or passion. His love is careful and restrained. Through his slow but decisive salute, we can instantly see how China's national identity and common experience are communicated. Just like one of our fans said, he made me understand what is truly important in an ordinary life.
17岁，第四野战军后勤医院。
你有什么感受啊？
有这么个机会来看看，要不就没机会。
The same is true of our Hong Kong series. We turned our camera on the ordinary people across all walks of life in Hong Kong. They exist on the margins of all events. There are those without a voice under all the noise, and to our camera, they told of their sadness about these riots and their peaceful lives that have been overturned. We also turned our camera to the countryside. In a world built by the internet, these rural lives that didn't even have electricity 10 years ago are also the edges of our world. Underneath the bright and colorful culture industries, people don't care what is happening there and the difficulties that these people face every day. This is life, people.
机会你也过来吧，虽然路会很长。下一个农村见。
Finally, we went to Africa. The concept of Africa in China has always been at the margins of our understanding. We've created so many jokes around this concept, but we haven't set out to truly understand the life there. Even our notion that Africa is one monolithic entity was part of our stereotype. We saw some children who live in the slums. They had made a small cart and were pushing a disabled friend as they ran up a narrow slope. He said, "The slums aren't a dangerous place. They're just another ordinary place." In one tribal village where they particularly value children's education, they taught that water and education are the two most important things in life. Indigenous tribes are not as primitive as we think. We saw the white rhinos killed by poachers on the African grasslands, their tombstones standing alone in the grassland, each a heartbreaking reminder of human greed. We also met a young man born in Congo, whose father was killed and his sister raped in front of him when he was 10 years old. But he was alive, and he used his voice to sing of world peace and the price of war. These snippets made up YChina's 2019. And for me, 2019 has really made me understand why I do what I do. YChina exists to tell these stories, to bring the margins of society to light, to bring light to all who are the other. For China, those small individuals under the grand narrative are the other. Those who stand on the edges of culture and to understand this country are the other. And the elderly and those who live outside cities, those who have been cast aside in the internet experience, are the other. Africa, which has not yet been understood, but has already been constructed into a symbol of the African experience, is the other. To the world, China is the other. Therefore, when we ignore all those who have been marginalized in our lives and think with an arrogant attitude, when we think, "I know what it looks like," then the prejudices, stereotypes, and discriminations that belong to this world truly appear. Our neglect of the edge of this world is the fundamental base of all stereotypes. I believe that in our world, built around the internet, where we're able to more conveniently and easily understand other people, our generation should have the greater understanding of the world than any other generation. It should be with us that the dichotomous views of the world, traditional and modern, China overseas, concerning me, not concerning me, are all left behind. In 2019, we also gained many new followers. We became a Baida Abju. We burst through 3 million fans on Weibo and Bilibili, and we received so many moving messages from all of you. But for me, the most important thing is that I've been able to clearly see what we're doing and why. 2020 will be the 5th year of us creating videos. I still have so much energy and enthusiasm to explore the ends of the earth with my friends and show all of these amazing places and people to you. So thank you for coming along for the ride. 辛苦各位爸爸们，明年继续关注外国人研究社会。